In this lesson, we're going to be multiplying imaginary numbers. Another name for an imaginary number is a complex number. So you'll see that these videos have been titled complex numbers, but I'm calling them imaginary. That's because those terms are interchangeable, so you might hear them both ways. When I am multiplying with complex numbers, I would do it the same way as if I was multiplying with a variable or regular numbers. So for this problem, I would FOIL, meaning I would distribute my 6 to both terms. I would get 36 plus 24i. I can times things that aren't the same. And then I would distribute my negative 4i. So I have negative 24i minus 16i squared. Now remember, I squared is negative 1, so I'm going to have to substitute a negative 1 in here. And you might notice that these middle terms add up to 0. Look at my original problem. It makes sense that my middle terms would add up to 0 because these are conjugates, aren't they? So when you think back to our factoring difference of two squares or our rationalizing the denominator, these conjugates kind of pop up quite a bit. And these are an example of one, so I would have known my middle terms would have added up to 0. When I do this, I have 36 now, and then a negative 16 times a negative 1 would be a positive 16. So when I go ahead and add those numbers together, I get 52. So what started out as a very complex looking problem, or kind of maybe weird even, I get an answer like 52. Number 15 then, remember that when you're squaring something, you're really taking it times itself. So you're going to have to separate this and write it as two different problems. So I would have 8 minus 11i times 8 minus 11i. It's the same thing times itself because it's squared. So when I FOIL, I would have 64 minus 88i, and then negative 11 times 8 would be another negative 88i. Negative 11i times negative 11i would be a positive 121i squared. Again, I squared is negative 1, so this whole area here is really like a negative 121. When I take 64 minus 121, because I'm adding like terms, I'd get negative 57. And then negative 88 plus a negative 88 would be a negative 176i. Can't add things that aren't the same. They're not like terms, so that's my answer. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and try 16 and 17. Pause the video and then you can come up to check the answers. So this would be 8 minus 20i plus 6i minus 15i squared. I squared still negative 1. So I would have actually 8 plus 15, which is 22, 23 how about? And then minus 14i. Final answer. Number 17, you'd get 63 minus 42i plus 18i minus 12i squared. Since I squared is negative 1, this area here is really a positive 12, right? So I'd have 63 plus 12, which is 75. Negative 42i plus 18i would be a negative 24i. So those are hopefully pretty simple for you because you guys have done a lot of multiplying binomials. This one now I would have to distribute my I to both terms here, so I'd have negative 4i squared minus 8i, and then I'll distribute my 3 to both terms, so plus 6 minus 24i. Right here I have an I squared, so this is negative 1, so this is really like a plus 4. When I add my 6 and my 4, I'd get 10, and then negative 8i minus 24i would be negative 32i. Final answer.